looking for her very own sunshine. All alone in her face, many roads to travel time, but she don't mind.
Here we are again today on the Russ Meek Speak Show, talking about what's happening here in the Chicagoland marketplace, what's making people go and come and do other. But hey, Lester Blair Capital, here to talk about in a replacement format to host the Russ Meek Speak Show today. And I'm also here with the very sharp, beautiful young lady who's going to tell you a little bit more about this place, someplace in America, is it Harvey? That she's going to be running for mayor. And I think she can do a great job. But we need to have her tell you guys exactly what she plans to do, how we can make this happen, and how to get it done. So, young lady, tell us a little bit about yourself.
My name is Nicole Gooden. I am a resident of Harvey currently. I graduated in 1996 from Thornton High School.
96?
96.
Okay.
Don't make me reminisce. 30 years ago. This is our 30. We're having a Cancun trip this August. But I honestly want to say that Harvey was like the best time of my life, right?
Ooh.
Yeah, it was such a different place in the early 90s. It was really pleasant. It had businesses. Most of the community was occupied. The vacancies were not astronomical like they are. And it was a fun place to, play hide and go seek.
Okay.
Yeah, I remember, I just really have fond memories of being in Harvey, and my grandparents moved out there, and I lived with them for a good while because my mother worked midnights.
Got it.
And I don't think that outside of the first year when I first moved, I probably fought every girl that was in my class. But after that, it was smooth sailing. 6th grade on, I was okay. But I really, really enjoyed the time that I spent there. So, once you graduate, I think the issue became, and maybe that's a little bit in parenting or development, I don't think we were brought up to say, I'm coming back home, right? So when I got out of high school, I was like, oh, I'm going to Bronzeville. I'm going downtown. It was anywhere but Harvey, right? So we all are scattered around the states or around the surrounding suburbs. And a few people stayed the entire time after that, but not many, They moved to Dalton or Riverdale or South Holland or in the city or other states. But a lot of us didn't come home, and that's a big economic drain for that community because we left our seniors, which are now our parents or grandparents, to vie for themselves, right?
Got it.
And now the diminishing businesses, which have been happening over several administrations, now we're down to liquor stores and a few mom-and-pop restaurants, and McDonald's and Popeyes are the only emerging businesses, big box businesses that we have. And I decided to come back home. I moved back from Naperville a little over a year ago, and I've been really ticking people off.
Oh gosh, it's like, hey, wait a minute, who does she think she is?
Exactly, that's exactly what I get. Who do you think you are? Where did you come from? I came from the same place you did. But I'm glad I did. I'm glad that I got to live in Woodlawn. I'm glad that I got to live in Maywood, Charlotte, and Naperville, because that means that I've gotten experiences that most don't, right? So not to mention the fact that I love to travel, but when you get to see how other communities operate, when you get to see how other communities take care of their constituents and stuff like that, you learn a lot. And then not to mention I'm a real estate broker, so I've done that for almost 28 years.
Okay.
But being in those realms you get to see a lot. And just even being in Charlotte, it was so different because that's basically a Republican, and even is Naperville. But these are Republican areas, but they're ran totally different, you know. And then you come back home and you see Harvey, and it's just heart crushing. Like,
Now, my question: you want to be mayor?
yes,
Why? And what's going to make you different from the current administration?
I'm glad you asked. I don't steal.
Oh gosh.
Yes. What makes me different? I'm an honest person. And from what I've experienced and seen in Harvey from previous administrations on to now, people claim to love Harvey, but your actions need to follow your words, right? And whether it's the presidential election or if it's a local municipality, you are in charge of serving everyone. You don't get to pick and choose. I don't like you. I like you, so I'm going to show favoritism. That's not what makes the community move. That's not what shakes and progresses the community. What progresses the community is you helping everyone. Now, I might not get it right every time, but I'm going to attempt to solve whatever issue that is, right? And I don't see that. I don't see that from the administration. I don't see that from some of their employees. Unfortunately, they're known for being rude. Like, AI is taking over, right?
Okay.
And yeah, and I just watched it. AI is taking over. And sometimes you pull up to Wendy's and McDonald's and you're not talking to a person, right? But you do recall pulling up and talking to somebody that was being nasty or rude or didn't want to help. Why would you act like that in a day of today, right? You want to make sure that these jobs are secure, that you can show that you need to be there. Oftentimes, I don't think that they need to be there because they're not serving a purpose. How do you get paid $60,000, $80,000, or $90,000 and you don't service the people? You might as well not be there. Because I've had the same problem with this administration for the last 6-7 months, and I just think that it's asinine that it's still going on. Hey, and some people continue to want to talk, want to, try to work it out with them. But as we discussed earlier, sometimes when you're talking to people that aren't, what's a nice word for imbecile? Yes, I mean, so I don't come in to offend anyone. I just come in to get something done. And I feel like that's your right and that's my right. Whether it's buying a slice of pizza or whether it's paying a bill. That person should be courteous. That person should service you. And then if you have an issue and you need to take it to an elected official, they should have some type of recourse. They should have some type of options to resolve this or lead you in the right direction to get it done. Not blow smoke in your face, not talk stuff to you, not tell you a bunch of lies that you know are untrue, So you told me that you are in finance, right?
Yes.
So I'm not a finance. I mean, I know how to add and put my money in the bank, but I'm sure that's probably how I am about real estate and kind of the law, right?
Okay.
So I read, I do a lot of research, and I sue a lot of people. I'm a very, very good pro se litigant, if I don't say so myself.
Oh,
However, that's not my goal, right? I didn't come back home to sue Harvey, but this is where I find myself.
Are you winning your cases?
Yes, I've only lost one case in like 28 years.
Okay.
So I don't litigate just to litigate, right? I do it because you've either highly offended me and I feel like you've trampled over my rights. And then I have to show you I'm not going to allow that. And I might try to talk it out. And I have tried to talk to them several times. But it seems as though talking to imbeciles it's not the easiest thing to do.
It's not working.
No, it's not. And I'm tired of talking. And it's just, and I see it happening with other people. Only thing that I'm discouraged about is that a lot of people don't want to stand up for themselves in Harvey. And I understand a lot of that is seniors. And I understand that's also possibly people that don't have the knowledge, because I have an associate's, a bachelor's, and a year in law school. So all of that has been under law. I have never changed my major ever. Every time I go back, it's law, legal studies, whatever. But even without those resources, you shouldn't have to want to sue your community, right? You should be able to go in there and talk to whomever, and they want to help you. And I noticed the last time I went to a meeting like 2 weeks ago, I read them the riot act. I did. I basically explained to them that they were doing a horrible job, and it was no excuses for it. And at this point, I'm going to have to litigate because there's nothing left for me to do. I've talked till I'm blue in the face. But at the same time, there's 6 aldermen, there's a mayor, there's other employees at this meeting. I would want my administration, even if it was me up there doing the wrong thing, I would want you or someone else to go over there to see, hey, how can we help you? How can we resolve this? How can we make this go away?
Okay.
Right? No one reached out to me. People in the community reached out to me. People in the community are questioning, why don't they want you to have water? Right? Water? Harvey owes millions of dollars for water. You want to collect as much money as you can. They won't accept my money. Nor will I pay anything that you give me on a postage stamp either. That's unprofessional and, again, imbecile. But, you know, just trying to work through all of these obstacles, I would never imagine in my life of returning to Harvey when I had this bright idea that it would be so difficult.
Now, I got to ask you, you have the audience here that's going to be listening to you. She wants to run for mayor. Why her versus the current administration?
Me. Why me? Because I have the knowledge, I have the will, and I have the heart. And when I say I have the knowledge, I've been through this in several communities. I've seen it done. I've helped it get done, and I've participated in it. I've been a business owner. I've been a candidate before. I've done a lot of things to bring change. I'm a doer. I'm not a talker. I don't have to bicker with someone to get my point across. I can show you better than I can tell you. The first step for Harvey is beautification, because the problem is Harvey looks ran down. And if you have a business, what kind of business it is, whether it's financial or if it's a tax service. As a matter of fact, I don't even think I've seen what's that, H&R Block. I don't even think I've seen that.
Even H&R Block wouldn't go. And they're saying if they want Harvard to be the junkyard capital, well, that's a different story.
Right. I just thought about that. Like, where do people get their tax? I know people do taxes personally in their house, but, in every community you have seen a Jackson Hewitt or H&R Block somewhere around. As long as I have been back home, I have not seen that, right? But you have to attract. And the way you attract is you beautify and clean up. And that's the first step. And then once you do that, you invite investors, homeowners into your community. Harvey has a lot of vacant land. Harvey has a lot of vacant homes. Why are we sitting on these homes? Why are we sitting on stuff that could be bringing tax revenue in? That's the problem with the schools. That's the problem with the community. That's the reason why our taxes are so high.
Now, it's true. I grew up in Chicago, in Inglewood, and right now we have tons of vacant lands, property that's being dilapidated and not being custom. But we have a lot of owners who basically are holding on to these properties, waiting for development. And right now I can say the number one area, I think, in Chicago will be Inglewood.
I live there too. I love Inglewood. I grew up there as well before. But that's where my grandparents moved from. They moved from 63rd and Laughlin to 144th in Sangamon, right? So I remember I went to St. Benedict or St. Raphael, whatever Catholic school right there on 61st and Laughlin.
Okay.
And Inglewood has come a long way.
It's going to be coming alive. 'Cause right now, you're looking at the amount of money that's geared to come into Inglewood. And right now, I hate the fact that I don't think African Americans is going to be the one riding the boat. I think right now we got a huge Hispanic population that's coming in for cash deals. We have a huge population. And I saw a white man jogging down the street in Ashland. I was like, okay, we got some change going on here.
That's the first sign of change. And I noticed that everywhere because, but Bridgeport is right there, right? So that's predominantly
That's white.
a white community. But also, I think it's going to diversify because I still have family. My aunt and them live right off of Midway Pleasance. So, but that community, when I lived there, the house that I lived in got broken into 16 times, right? And at that particular point, we didn't have any banks, no grocery stores. When I moved out and left and I just gave up on it, eventually Whole Foods didn't stay, but they came, they tried, whatever the case may be. But I've seen mass improvements. And the same thing with the West Loop around the United Center or Jewtown, right? All of those communities look way worse than Harvey, right? And now they're on the budding break, if not already there, like the West Loop and stuff like that, where they have developed. But those places did not look like any place you wanted to raise kids. It was no place you wanted to park. I used to park over there for free by Harpo Studio, going to Madison and Canal to work. And I was like, I hope my car is still here when I get back.
Oh, God.
And I was driving a Mercedes then, and I was just like, okay, I don't want to pay $25 or $30. I'll just park here for free and hop on the Madison bus, right? So at the same time, with these regentrifications going on, and the Harvey administrators or politicians, they're also quick to say, well, we can't be like Orland and we can't be like Tinley. Why can't you? As an elected official, you have a low standard for your own government and you're running it. Why would you not think that you could do better? Why would you not think you could be like Orland? Why wouldn't you even think that you could be better? Like, I don't want anybody leading me and they don't think we can go anywhere. That's the wrong train to be on. So I'm a difference maker. I'm a positive person, and I actually can do the things that I say. And I'm not going to waver. I'm not going to give you the Donald Trump syndrome. I'm not going to tell you I'm going to lower things and I don't. If you put me in office, I guarantee you I will lower the taxes.
Okay, so taxes issue you'll take care of?
Yes, because it's a simple answer. Clean it up and bring businesses. A lot of people want to develop. A lot of people want to put out new businesses. A lot of people want to be entrepreneurs. But if you're not if you're not a welcoming community for investors or homeowners, who will come?
Now, we talked briefly. You said you wanted to have Harvey be like what city?
Naperville.
Naperville.
Yes.
We're going to change the name?
No, we're going to keep it Harvey.
Okay.
We're going to keep it Harvey, but yes. I don't see why we can't. I mean, there's no reason why. We're centrally located in a beautiful area that you can be anywhere from Harvey. You can get on 294, you can get on 57, you can get on 9094, you can get on 80. Like, you have access to be so many different places in a few minutes or on your way. You could be in Indiana in no time. So you're being centrally located, and I don't know where the Bears are going, but if they do wind up in Indiana on the south side, that would be great economic development. But you don't have to wait for the Bears. Okay. You can get this train started now.
Got it.
Just keep your hands out the cookie jar. Do what you're saying. Rebuild. So my biggest thing, and I use these words, but they're not likely, they're just exactly what Harvey needs: rebuild, revive, and renew. Right?
Are we going to see gambling in Harvey?
Considering the fact that Wind Creek is right there,
right down the street,
I don't understand how we missed that boat. But if somebody else wanted to put another casino on the north side of 80, I would be totally for that.
Wind Creek might expand.
That would be beautiful. And would want them to expand on this side, right? So then you have a North and South Wind Creek or whatever.
I can see it now. We can create little gondolas and little rivers that would have people.
Oh, now
paddling
we're
on
talking
the
some
gondolas.
Las Vegas stuff.
I can see it
Where's the
now.
water at, though?
Well, actually, we can bring the water in. Basically,
Across 80?
yeah, we can bring the water in and just have the gondolas coming in, and hey, we're done.
Okay, I'm with it. I'm anything for development, right? If it's a will, there's a way. We could put some type of little river out front, like they do. I can't think of the name of what hotel that is in Vegas. It normally comes to mind, but yes, have the little gondolas. That would be way.
I'm telling you,
That would be very high tech.
We're talking big time.
Yes,
here.
exactly. Because, and then so, if you did partner with someone like Wind Creek, right? So, offer them other development opportunities in Harvey, right? Or whoever that is. Hey, buy this block, put up a development center for youth, somewhere for them to learn AI or to study or to
And
do
Wind Creek
music.
has a big issue. They want to create jobs.
Yes,
One
and
of
Harvey is a haven for place to have jobs because there's so much infrastructure needed. The streets need to be paved. The grass needs to be grown. Trees need to be planted. Homes need to be torn down or rebuilt. I haven't seen new construction in Harvey almost in my whole entire life.
It's the change.
It's very rare.
And we get you come in and say, hey, there will be change.
Oh, definitely. And there's a big safety issue. We need to bring back all of our fire and police. We need to set a new standard. I think Harvey lacks a lot of standards administratively, and then that trickles down, right? Because if I'm a lazy boss, lazy mayor, lazy alderman, if I ride around in my drop top and the streets are bumpy, what are you saying? You know what I mean? Like, what is your how are you proud? How are you proud of this, right? I question a lot of things not out of just questioning you out of jealousy or from envy. I'm questioning your whereabouts, where you think, how you feel, what is your goal. Because if I look at your track record, outside of giving gifts, small gifts to seniors, what have any of them done for the community as a whole? Can you say, oh, they did this, they put this grocery store here, they fixed this street or these streets? Like, there's never anything really positive, and they make a big to-do about the littlest things. Oh, we're cleaning up today. And what is that? A lady called me earlier today, and what I do get a lot of, which I think speaks to who I am, people call me and ask me questions as though I'm running government, like, having water bill issues and things like that, or just they don't even have a FEMA situation set up for the residents. So we've had all of these storms, we've had these outages back to back, and some people are really, really suffering. So they did say that they were running a special pickup from July 7th to the 14th for people to set their stuff out to get it tossed away. But what about the resources that they need to probably clean out their basements, to facilitate making sure that they don't have mold in their houses and stuff like that? A lot of the residents are seniors. So outside of those people.
What's the demographics of Harvey?
Hispanic community is probably a little under 40%.
Okay.
African Americans, we're a little under 60. There's an Indian Muslim population. It's pretty diverse. It's still white people, Caucasians in Harvey.
Got a few.
Yeah, we have some, yes. But I love it that we are diverse in this manner, right? But it doesn't show throughout the community. When you hear about Harvey, you hear such negative stuff, and it's unfortunate. And it's like, who wants to really turn things around and change it? And so my point that when I ran in 2013, I brought Walmart grocery store to Maywood.
Okay.
This was just as a candidate, right? So put that in the aspect of you have elected officials. You have 6 aldermen. You have a mayor. And not one meeting have I been at where they said, not even any of the people that are contending to run, hey, I got this grocery store ready and willing and waiting to come to Harvey. Can we do it? Nothing. You know, so
Why?
if I can do that, and you all have political pull, you have way more connections, supposedly, than I, as a constituent, just a resident one to run. If I can do it, why can't you? And you've been on this board for how long? And tell me why that you want to be considered distressed? Harvey's fighting to be considered distressed by the state of Illinois. That is not an easy fight. It's only one city in the entire history of Illinois that got that distinction. You want that? Like, really? Because to me, you're telling the world you don't know what the heck you're doing. Because if you need oversight, why are you elected? Why are you in office? It makes no sense. And then I also feel like it's almost like telling somebody you're broke and you got a bunch of expensive stuff in your closet. And you would tell me probably, you need to sell that. You got a fur coat, you got stilettos and Coach and Gucci and all this stuff. Sell it, right? So that's how I look at all this property that Harvey has. You want the state to tell you that you're distressed. You're not distressed. You're lazy. You're incompetent. You're not doing your job. Because if you sold, and I hate to say this, but I know a lot of people like to say it because it's a thing that's always happened. Selling property for $1. It's a very popular idea and it has worked several places.
It helps the tax roll.
Exactly. But I would say let's do $1,000 because that's still $1,000 to $5,000 because Harvey needs money, right? But you can't get oftentimes a house for $1,000 or $5,000. But that would take it and put it back on the tax roll. Sell everything. Sell it. Give it away. If you're a big enough developer, hey, take the whole block.
Yeah.
Right?
I just want you to put a situation up where people get jobs, we get items that are provided for the community, and we move forward.
Right. So why don't you go to Walsh Construction or some of these big conglomerate construction companies? Hey, take 2 or 3 of these blocks, hire 30% of Harvey workforce or 40% of Harvey workforce, and put them to work and help you rebuild the community. Hey, now they can develop. We can have actual condos and apartments with. Harvey is one of the places in the south suburbs I have never seen an apartment building or a condo with a balcony. I'm so used to balconies. I'm spoiled, but it's just an amenity that you want to provide.
Right. It would be an attractive amenity that people would like to see.
And even if it overlooks, or if it's off Dixie Highway and it overlooks the highway, that's okay. You got the city view. But you do nothing to attract businesses. You do nothing to sell and move the needle. You do nothing to bring people closer. Everything is about divide. And it's just time for something new.
Right now, we're talking about a strategic plan here for Harvey.
Yes.
Right now, Harvey's in a location, strategic, and there are lots of different companies around this country that would want to pick out a strategic location and say, hey, we need to move into Harvey because right now we're going to get in cheap, we're going to grow with them, and let them expand.
Yes, and Harvey used to be a big manufacturing place. A lot of people have left. So that strategically would be an awesome plan. Working with big box businesses or manufacturers to bring them to the community and also provide jobs and also provide stability with the tax base, because then that will bring down the taxes. If you opened up 10 new businesses in the point of a year care if you just go to open up 10 new businesses every year. That would do a world of difference for Harvey.
Then again, I bring in my alumni situation at University of Chicago. Since University of Chicago wants a new site for a new off-site hospital situation and training facility, why not offer Chicago the opportunity to help Harvey to expand?
I'm glad you mentioned it. I am such a fan of University of Chicago. I used to be one of their patients back in the day when I lived in Woodlawn. And I paid attention very well to what they did because they were really, really a big part of rebuilding Woodlawn. Hyde Park was overcrowded.
Expensive?
Yes. And Woodlawn was crap. It didn't look like anything that it does now. Now they got this big fancy jewels on 60th and Cottage Grove. But University of Chicago has that satellite with Ingalls Hospital. But I was talking to a doctor at the social club that I was at. He said they haven't really taken over. And I got a feeling that that's because Harvey is full of imbeciles. But never mind all of that. But here's what happens. They offered the doctors, the employees of the University of Chicago grant money to purchase in the Woodlawn community. Not to mention all of the people that were already purchasing, because I bought in Woodlawn. That was my first house, or maybe my second, I'm not sure. But I was 21 and I bought my first building on 63rd and Greenwood, right around the corner from Brazier's Church. And they were giving them money, incentives to buy in the community. That is the same thing that can be implemented in Harvey, right? You want the doctors, the nurses, the employees. That increases the median income in Harvey, right? And then that also attracts businesses because they don't think, oh, why would we put this here? Because ain't no money in Harvey. Yet there's money there. It's just underdeveloped and just abandoned, unfortunately. And there's a block called Washington, right off of Halsted. I don't even know what to tell you. So half of the block is okay. The northern side of the block is not so okay. And why I say it's not so okay? The weeds have grown outside into the properties where they have completely taken over the property. You can't even tell what's there.
Yeah, no one's maintaining it.
And the weeds have grown into the streets. Can you imagine how many years it took for it to get to that status?
A number of years.
Just constant neglect because, and I have friends that lived on my block on Sangamon, and I know a couple people that have left. And oftentimes what I did notice, after they moved out and abandoned the property, or however they left, I'm not quite sure, but however the property became abandoned, right? I never saw anyone live there again. And to this day, those houses are completely covered with trees and weeds. So what's supposed to happen?
They're still owned.
Yes.
And the question is, who owns them?
Well, then here we go back to the imbecile thing, right? Because I want to say, so even if I walk away from a property, the mortgage company is supposed to foreclose and take possession of it and do property preservation.
That's what it's supposed to do.
Supposed to. But what I've noticed in Harvey is that the mortgage companies walk away and never come back. Because first of all, they get PMI insurance. So they get paid regardless to
the government's going to pay me.
Yeah. So even, and if you decide to walk away, I'm still going to get paid.
Right.
So they have taken on that aspect for Harvey. They don't do that everywhere, right? They don't do that in Naperville. They don't do that in Chicago. They don't even do that in Inglewood, right? They're going to come and get that property. They hire somebody to keep the property up, property preserve it, whether it's the winter or summer, keep it together. And some people have ordinances where you can't board up the property. You have to keep it. If you don't know that no one lives there, you won't know, because they're cutting the grass every 2 weeks. They're coming by making sure that the pipes don't burst and things of that nature. So then that falls back on the city, because then you are allowing the mortgage companies to abandon their responsibility, because they're supposed to pay for the taxes.
They're supposed to.
They're supposed to keep up the taxes. So when somebody tells me that this house has $100,000 in taxes due, if that person didn't outright own the property, that makes no sense to me, because that means that whoever had the mortgage, or the mortgagee, the company that had it, they just abandoned everything that they were supposed to, and they got paid. So then where are your the attorneys for Harvey representing the properties and the people, right? Yeah. Because you're not protecting the people, because I heard maybe not too long ago 4 people were found dead in one of those abandoned houses.
In Harvey?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we have stuff like that going on, there's a deeper rooted issue of incompetence, or you just don't care. I don't know which one you want to call it or consider it, but it's a lot of failed procedures that are not happening that cause Harvey to look the way it does.
Correct.
And mortgage companies have a lot of money.
Yes, huge amount of money.
Yes. So I don't know, you would rather go after me when you should be going after them, right? Because they could pay those taxes that they've left and abandoned because they own the property. But at the same time, if you don't go after the right or the correct people, you go after the low-hanging fruit, you get what Harvey looks like now.
Right. Now, given your background in the real estate marketplace, what is your expert opinion to say, how can Harvey be turned around from the real estate standpoint?
First and foremost, is selling the properties, getting rid of them, doing a bid, however, whatever needs to be done to make sure that these properties wind up in homeowners. You want to really do homeowners, right? But if you can't get a boatload of homeowners, sometimes you need to work with developers. And if not developers, you need to tear it down and start over, right? There's some really beautiful homes in Harvey, but most people don't know it, or most people won't see it, because look at Halsted. Halsted needs a whole new revamping. It really does. It's very unattractive. It's not welcoming. When you go to, let's say, I hate to keep using it, but Naperville, Country Club Hills, even though it's changed quite a bit, but Homewood, for instance, Homewood looks inviting. It doesn't look like you're going to get a flat tire. You don't worry about going to the gas station. It looks like you'll be okay.
So I live in different environments. Evanston, one. And
yes, definitely.
Lake Forest, another. And Fox Lake.
Oh, definitely.
So I'm saying there are ways to get this set up. And right now, to put you in charge of this community, to say, hey, look, make me mayor. I'm going to bring you a new day.
Yeah, my first agenda, I put out a 5-year plan. The first 2 years is about getting the streets fixed.
Okay.
That is if I was the current administration, that is what I would be working on. That alone would get you reelected, fixing the streets. People are upset about these streets. I'm upset about the streets. But the first 2 years dedicated to just beautifying, right? It's no reason that so many places, I remember one place on Halsted, it used to be a church when I was in high school. It's just a shell of a brick building. You can see straight through it. You can see the roof has collapsed. What are we doing with this?
I'm assuming it's because membership declined.
Yes, but it's probably been vacant for a very long time.
Yeah, but I'm saying with churches like that, if typically churches continue to maintain with people coming in and out, but if the population starts to leave, not coming to church, they decline. And that's the issue.
They really need to use the power of eminent domain, right? If
Terrible thing.
It is and it isn't. It depends on what you're using it for. I would never use eminent domain just to take someone's home for some greedy purpose. But eminent domain could be used for these properties that haven't, like the ones that have been overgrown for 30 years.
Yeah, City of Chicago used eminent domain to take property that I had near Inglewood, not Inglewood, but the development that was taken in downtown Chicago, roughly, Cabrini Green. So I got hit with look, we're going to give you $100,000 here. I was like, wait a minute, this is going to be $1 million property. What are you talking about?
Did you all fight it?
Oh, yeah. I had the attorneys there. Said, hey, it's going to cost you $1 million legal fees. I go, okay. I just look.
That's just what they tell you.
Yeah.
But, so I did experience eminent domain with my ex-husband's father in Bellwood. And they were buying them out on Bellwood Avenue.
Okay.
And his father and another owner, they held out they were like the last ones to go. But I think everyone probably sold somewhere between $250 and $350.
Okay.
But you can fight it. But here's what the killer part is. I can't wait to get my JD. But so he increased his profit. But in increasing his profit, he increased the attorney's profit. So I think the attorneys made like an extra $30,000 to $60,000 on the sale of that property. Mm-hmm. And I don't think he really paid attention to the contract of what he was signing. But he did. I think he went up to like $290, maybe $300, and he was expecting most of that money for himself, but he did not get right. So you have to really be cognizant of what you're what you're signing. But eminent domain can be used for those properties that have been abandoned for over 30 years, right? Because then if the mortgage company hasn't done anything with it and the owners haven't done anything with it, and it's a eyesore and it's a safety issue for children and for anybody, because anybody can get hurt and stuffed into a abandoned building and you'll never be found because nobody's going by there.
So it has to be rectified.
Yeah. So if you use eminent domain for those specific situations to get some type of handle on the vacancies that are in Harvey, and then allowing someone to come in, whether it be a contractor or a developer or homeowners that want to develop, because there's a lot of development to be had in Harvey, right? And it's just time for something new. And you should want something new, right? You should want something new. You should want something positive. You should want something beautiful. You should want to be able to sit out on your porch and go, I'm home.
Gosh.
Right?
And I'm glad to be home.
Yes, I'm glad to be home. And you don't want to be at home complaining. You don't want to be at home crying. You don't want to be at home yelling. You want to be at home relaxing and enjoying. And I know Harvey has a lot of pride, and that's another thing I like. So I look at my kids. My daughter graduated from Naperville North, and my son graduated from Crete. They could care less about their schools. They don't go back for any reasons. They don't care about the picnics. They don't care about the reunions, anything. My daughter graduated in 2020, so she didn't even get a graduation during COVID. So when I played in the Classic in last year for Thornton, you have the youngest aspiring wanting to go to Thornton, and you have the 80 and 90-year-olds reminiscing, having a good time at the class. That's like some of the best times because we're all purple. We all love each other. It's a basketball game, so I'm playing. I haven't played in years, but I'm playing. My brother's playing on the other team, and it's a very competitive game, right? But it's so much fun. It's just, anytime Thornton has anything, that is the best part of Harvey.
It just makes things happen.
Yes, it is, but we need more of that, Thornton can't be the only positive part of Harvey. It has to be more.
Yeah. We've gone through a lot of time, and my real question, telling voters, what's the date? What are they punching? They're actually trying to make this promotion for you?
Well, we're not there yet. We're about to begin signatures in about 30 to 60 days, roughly. The actual election is April of 2027.
Okay.
I don't know what my punch number is yet. but I will have that information. But if you want to volunteer,
Okay, if they want to volunteer, is there a number they should call?
yes, 331-481-1043. I messed that number up so much.
Uh-oh.
Oh God, I think I was on Buddy Guy Radio and I gave the wrong number out. I was like, Jesus. It's either 1043 or 1083. I don't know. I don't dial it much, but yes, that's the number.
Now, again, if we're doing the fundraiser, where's the funds get deposited?
Yes, so that number can be Zelled.
Okay.
That is my political Zelle number. I think it's 331-481-1043. I should have remembered.
We want to make that the right number.
Right, yeah, that is a number. I don't know if I have my business cards in front of me, but I'm pretty positive. But if not, you can reach me on Facebook under Nicole Gooden. There's several ways to reach me on social media. The Right Nicole on Instagram. And yeah, I'm the best choice for this job, honestly. You want somebody with integrity and heart and morals, and somebody ready to make the changes that Harvey really, really needs. I'm the person for the job.
Okay. And we got to say, look, y'all don't vote for her. We're going to get you. We know where y'all live.
We do, don't we? I got the list. I do. The voter registration list. We got the numbers. We got the addresses. You already promised to come handle that water situation for me, so I'm ready.
Again, I got my boys. We're going to get this water cut on. No problem.
We just got to move the boulder first. So just, if you all want to help us move the boulder, let me know. I'm willing. I'm ready. I can't take it much more.
So I can only say, look, we have this beautiful young lady. She's running for mayor, and she's not married. So again, you guys got her numbers also. So again, don't be blowing her up like, hey, we got to get married. She has to wait a little while. You know, she's trying to relax, get her election taken care of.
Can we talk about that for a second?
Uh-oh.
Oh, God. Why did you say that? See, people might just call. But I'm completely flattered that people think that I look a certain way, but I really want to stick to politics. And when you call me, keep it professional. I don't want to date right now. I mean, I love companionship and conversation, but I really sticking to what my goal is.
Kind of focus here.
Yes, I'm sticking to my goal. And dating is a distraction, you know, because before you know it, you're watching TV instead of campaigning, and it's just too much. It's different when I was married, right? It's different when I was married. Now that I'm not married, it's a distraction because it's a different world now.
But we don't have to worry because again, she is not married and no kids, and right now she's going to be ready to look at that world, but going to be a little while. Let's get this election finished.
Yes, let's get it won. Let's get it won. While I'm out here making people mad, let's get it won.
Sure, that's a done deal. I think we can make that happen.
All right, you heard him here. He said we can make it happen. I'm going to have him helping me out.
It's a done deal.
Thank you.
So, I definitely say, wish you the best of luck here.
Thank you.
And definitely know you're going to be working hard to make this happen.
I am. Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
the people need you, so that's the key that we're talking about.
Yes, I think they do.
See the big